Before starting the earthwork calculation, let's just have some basic concept, and then we will just move ahead for the example so we can understand the problem better. As you can see, there can be different methods to determine earthwork calculation, but in these lectures, we'll be just using few methods such as the mean area method and then the mean depth method. So you can say the mean area method, and then we will discuss about the mean depth method, because these two methods are used normally. Okay, now what do you mean by the mean area method and what do you mean by the mean depth method? Okay, let's just have some, you can say, filling. Maybe let's say we have this natural surface level. Okay, this is, let's say, initial, and let's say we have some fillings over here the same way like this. Okay, so we have this filling, and let's say if this is maybe embankment, maybe for some filling formation. Okay, and maybe just, you can say, a bank for a railway track. Okay, so let's say we have this thing, and it means the section can be the same, okay, to that side as well, such as this one. Okay, the section can be like this one as well. Okay, now as you can see, the section is just trapezium, and this is just normal practice. Okay, so we have, let's just focus on the mean area method first. Now, as you can see, let's say if we have the depth at this section, and I'm gonna call this is D1, and at that section, let me just call this is D2. It means the depths are different, so the areas for both sections can be different. If area of this section, let's say this is just the red shaded area, it means this area is just different than this area, which is just, you can say, the blue area. Okay, at both sections. Now once we have the area different, and if these areas are just the same, it means this is then very straightforward. Okay, then you have to just multiply this area with the length to have the quantity of the earthwork. Okay, and we have done this before many times. Now we are discussing these two things, the mean area and mean depth, because we have different dimensions at both ends of the same embankment. Okay, now if we talk about the mean area method, then the mean area method means, let's say I'm gonna say area, and over here M means the mean area. Okay, now area at this section, I'm gonna call this is area 1, and for that section, let's call this is area 2. Now what do you mean by the mean area method? Okay, we have to just multiply the mean area. Okay, and by mean area, I mean just to add both areas. Okay, like A1 plus A2, and then we will divide that by 2. So we have the mean area. Okay, now once you have the mean area, then of course we can calculate the earthwork. Maybe let's say if this is filling, because this is just an embankment. Okay, so it can be filling. It means the area, which is this time mean area, times the length, and this can be actually the earthwork or maybe filling. That's straightforward. So this is actually the basic concept for the mean area method. Okay, now let's just discuss something about the mean depth method. Okay, and again I'm gonna say, let's say if we have the same embankment, just the same way like this one. Let me just draw it if I can do it better. Okay, let's say we have the same thing. Now the mean, and one another thing, wait a minute. Okay, we're here, as you can see, we have the mean area, and this means that the area of the same embankment at the middle portion, like this one, you can say, just this one, this is actually the mean area, and this means AM. Okay, now we're here, as you can see, let's say if I have different depths. Okay, you guys can hear me, please confirm it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's say if we have two different depths at each end, you can say, and we are talking about the mean depth method. It means the mean can be taken as the middle one like this. Okay, something like this. This depth can be just measured, and let's say this is dm. So the mean depth method, let's say mean and then depth method. So this is actually all about dm, and this should be d1 plus d2 and divided by 2. So this is actually the mean or depth, okay, for the same embankment. Now, let's say
25.
if we have length of the same embankment is L. Now, as you can see, we have the mean depth. Okay, and once we have the mean depth, then of course we can determine the earthwork for the same embankment. Okay, now the earthwork, and let's say this is just filling again because this is an embankment. So the earthwork can be the mean depth, like dm, okay, times the length of the embankment. And this is straightforward and very simple. Okay, so this is the main concept related to mean depth and mean area method. Now we will have an example so we can calculate all these things very easily. Okay.